Okay, my story is titled At First Sight and it is written by Nicholas Sparks. This story is about a man who had a failed marriage and made a decision that he won't ever love again, will not ever leave New York and for anything, and will absolutely not become a parent. Um, all of his new decisions and plans for life changed when he met a girl and accidentally got her pregnant. He doesn't know her middle name, exactly how old she is, or even what her favorite color is. Now he is leaving New York City to move to Boone Creek, North Carolina, and is get engaged to basically a stranger. And a quote I liked was that I don't know what to say either, Jeremy said. I've been trying to make sense of it since it happened, but the only thing I've figured out is that in his own twisted way, he thought he was helping me avoid a potential disaster. It's sick, I know. In any case, I'm through with him. She met his gaze with a sudden fierceness. Why didn't you tell me about the emails earlier? Like I said, I wouldn't have known what to say. I didn't know who sent them, and I didn't know why. And then with everything else. And he is talking about Alvin trying to sabotage his marriage, kind of, because he thinks Alvin sent him these emails. And so I chose this quote because to me it kind of took me back to like the very beginning of the story where Alvin was like frustrated with Jeremy when Jeremy told him that he was going to move away from all his family and his job to go marry some girl he barely knows because he got her pregnant. And now Jeremy has been receiving emails and he doesn't know who they're from. And he's thinking that Alvin did it because he was against them getting married and all that. And now he is just thinking like how sick of a person Alvin is. So I liked how it made me think of the beginning of the book and how I didn't expect Jeremy to think that Alvin sent him the email since Alvin was his like friend or best friend or whatever. And what I think makes the book good, in my opinion, is what um, is like all of the dialogue the author uses, because he uses it almost the entire book, and like that's probably what keeps me entertained because I like the feel of knowing what each character is thinking, and I like how it's more kind of like they are telling the story. They're telling the story rather than the author, which is cool because then you get to know each of the characters, especially since the author had basically every character in a dialogue. And otherwise, I think it would have been a pretty boring story. And my only criticism on this story was probably um, have to be that it didn't keep my attention through the entire story. Like there was a few boring spots where I lost interest, and like I was reading sometimes and I would start to think about other stuff, like not about the story, and I'd kind of zone back into the book on some parts, and I would be a little confused and have to reread because I was like bored, I guess. And but I think the book was definitely a lot. It could have been a lot better, but it wasn't as bad as I thought. And like the last half of it was a lot more entertaining. Like the about halfway through, it got more entertaining to me. And the theme, I think, was sometimes tragic endings bring new beginnings and joy, like, or something like that. Because, for example, like Jeremy didn't have a bad, or if Jeremy didn't have a bad previous marriage, he would still be in it. And if he didn't get her, um, and if he didn't get Lexi pregnant, then he wouldn't have moved in with her. And um, and they wouldn't be married. And even though there was like they had frustrations together and stuff, like with pre-marriage arguments and all the trust issues that they had and the pregnancy complications that they had, like through all of those complications, they realize they are meant for each other and can't live without each other. And but the tragic ending when Lexi had passed away while giving birth is sad and disappointing. But you never know. Maybe it was just like the start of another new beginning. And that's my book.